Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to my Trying a New Makeup Product Everyday series. I have such a beautiful product to try out today. This is from truly one of my favorite brands, Wander Beauty. And this is their Wanderess Escape eyeshadow palette. And I got this in my January 2022 Boxycharm base box, which that box was really great. And if you have not seen that unboxing video yet, it is up here on my YouTube channel. And this palette retails for $42, which to me is so expensive, but at least it is a big palette. But I'm so glad I got it in that Boxycharm box for such a great deal. So let me show you the shades in here. Oh, so pretty, so shimmery, metallic upon first glance. And I love the big mirror here. And I like that there's pops of colors, but also those neutral shades. And it looks like it might also have almost all of my essential shades in it, meaning my highlight shade, my crease shade, kind of like a contour shade. The only thing I'm not seeing that I typically want in all eyeshadow palettes is that white or off-white base shade. But I think that's totally fine. I think I can still make do with this. Oh, and what's really cool is, no surprise because all Wander Beauty products are like this, but this also has multitasking beneficial ingredients in it. So it has hyaluronic acid, rose hip seed oil. Ooh, and it's supposed to be crease proof for all day wear. And so I have to start out with some swatches, and I just have to go for this beautiful shimmery blue. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, let's pick up some other shades. Seriously, such a nice texture. These are seeming very pigmented. Wow. Oh my gosh, that blue is so beautiful. Just the most beautiful shade, but then also a sparkle to it. So fun. That next shade that I just swatched is a perfect highlight shade. That matte shade, a little dusty, not super pigmented. Wow, that shimmer metallic is really nice. This darker matte is a little more impressive. I definitely am more impressed by the shimmer and sparkles than the matte shades, which is kind of typical for me when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. And even though this claims to be crease proof, I'm still going to test it out with and without an eyeshadow primer. So going in with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, the original version, all over just one of my eyelids. And this will help prevent creasing. It could also make the eyeshadows more vibrant, but just blending this from lash line to brow bone. And that brow bone is actually right where we can start with the first shade, because I'm so excited about this beautiful highlight shade. It's this one here called Moonlit. It's not sparkly, it's like a very reflective, metallic, and bright shade. Seriously, a perfect highlight shade. So I'm just going to use my finger to apply this right here onto the brow bone, under the brow. And that can catch the light nicely. And let's see how it is on this inner corner. Oh, very nice. It's bright enough to highlight this area, cover up that natural shadow that I get in the inner corner of my eye. Oh, and this is so nice and pigmented and easy to apply. Definitely a shade that I see myself reaching for any eyeshadow look, really. And then next, I like to move just slightly down from the brow bone into that crease transition area. And I like to use a light matte brown shade. So I'm gonna go for this one in the corner. This is called Nude Beach. And there's a bit of kickback there. And just picking it up on a fluffy brush so that I can blend it from crease to brow bone. Yeah, this is not showing up super pigmented, But for this transition area, I don't need it to be a super pigmented brown. I actually like to diffuse out the color here, but this seems to be the perfect use for this shade because it doesn't, ooh, so much kickback, dusty formula. But yeah, it doesn't really seem to get very pigmented. I feel like I'm applying a lot of it, and it's just still such a subtle shade, which is totally fine for this transition area. So I really like the highlight and the transition shade in this palette. Two shades that can really be a great base to any eyeshadow look that I tend to do. But that really was a subtle, just cleaning off my brush here, transition shade. Very subtle transition shade. So I'm gonna amp it up a bit. Let's see how much this sun-kissed, more of a tan, warm tone brown. Let's see how much this shows up. And I'm gonna try and focus this here into the crease rather than bringing it up so high on the brow bone, and build this up to create some more dimension. Yeah, I think that works. It does kind of deepen the crease here. These are easy to blend, just not the most pigmented color payoff, but I'm going to focus more on those shimmer metallic shades on the lid. But also I'm noticing that there is a lot less pigment showing up on the eye without the primer here. Like, I am trying to build this up and it's just looking so sheer, and like I feel like it's disappearing on my eye. I thought it barely showed up on this eye here with the primer, but without it, that is like nothing on my lid. And I've applied 3 different shades, and it's just like it's like it's falling off of my eye. And that's not something that usually happens to me with eyeshadows. But okay, I'm gonna try applying with my finger now with some shimmers. I think I'm gonna go for a colorful shimmery look and start with this beautiful shimmery purple called Flourish. Pick that up with my finger and let's apply this onto the lid. Wow, yeah, like this is looking full pigment, foiled color, shimmery and metallic, so pretty. It's interesting, it's almost like falling off in metallic pieces in the pan here. But I am able to smooth it out on the lid, but it's funny how it literally looks like foil. But I love this shade, this pinky purple, so pretty. I mean, I would put this all over the lid, but I'm trying to use as many shades as possible. But this is definitely my favorite shade that I've tried out on my eyes so far. Next, I can't resist the blue. I feel like that's all I see when I look at this palette. It just catches my eye so much. So once again, picking it up on my finger and placing this onto the lid, I'm going to apply this almost all the way to that inner corner, but just leave that inner corner slightly bare for one other shade that I want to put there. But yeah, this looks great on the eye. It's showing up with great pigment, great color. It has sparkle to it. Ooh, and I love that kind of ombre color combination of the purple and the blue. They mix really nicely together. Oh, but I'm so glad this blue shows up just as vibrant on the eye as it looks in the pan. And now, so like this is the eye without the primer. This is the eye with the primer. These shimmers are looking the same, good color payoff, but those mattes were just really not sticking, especially on the eye without the primer. And then the third shimmery shade I'm going to put on the lids is this shimmery light, kind of a champagne shade called Daydream. I'm just going to focus this in that very inner corner here to kind of brighten this up a little bit more. And this shade is also very pigmented and bright, a nice highlight shade. It's slightly darker than the shade that I used on the brow and inner corner to highlight, which it might be slightly too dark for my skin tone to be a highlighter, but it's still so pretty, sparkly. And I like to put a slightly lighter shade in the inner corner to help enhance the eye shape, brighten the eye, kind of open the eye up more too. So I love all the colors on my lid. It's very, like, I feel like it goes with the theme. Like, it goes with the image on here. Kind of reminds me of like a mermaid, beachy vibe, which is so fun. Like, oh, I want to go somewhere tropical so badly. I'm so over this cold weather. But I seriously feel like this eyeshadow palette, this eyeshadow look is taking me there. But so now let's pick up a shade I have not used yet to blend along the lower lash line. I think I'll pick up this shimmery brown called Santorini. And let's see how this is. I love a shimmery brown on the lower lash line, and this is like a metallic medium brown. Ooh, I really like this. See, this one's showing up good pigment. It would have probably looked good to put a color on the lower lash line and pull together the whole colorful look, but I wanted to use a shade different than what I'd already used before. And this is a type of brown shade that I would put on the lower lash line on like a daily basis. Just very easy to wear, easy to apply. It has a little metallic sheen, but this one does not have that glitter or shimmer sparkle to it. So here you can see my finished eyeshadow look. And the finished look I really like. It makes me happy, all the color, the sparkle, the shimmer, so pretty. So I really think that's the key with this palette, is to make those shimmer sparkles the focal point of the look. And even with doing that, you can create so many different looks for so many different occasions, color stories, just from this palette. So I am really happy with this, and I'm excited to play around with it and create more looks. I was just a little disappointed initially in those matte shades. I felt like for $42, I would have expected something that would actually show up on my lid when I was applying it without the primer. But also, lesson learned to use a primer with this. Which, speaking of, let's see if I have any creasing happening. It claimed to have no creasing. Let's see. This is the eye with the primer. No creasing. Wow, yeah, definitely no creasing on the eye without the primer either. So that is great to see. But I really do love the shades that you get in this palette, so I definitely will continue using this. But I would love to hear in the comments down below if you've created any eyeshadow looks with this palette that you really like. Let me know what kind of color combinations you did. But thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.